face. I'm standing up, I'm crucified in the race with all the sexy spread all over the place. Colors and dope, we substituting for the whip and the rope, keeping the black in the back when most of us broke. I'm trying to cope, sit back and smoke till Armageddon approach. I hope it does become my people don't choke. Some of us woke, but still too many get caught up on the boat, weighing us down with hate, that's why we can't float. We all got a drug, liquor, cracker, living life like a thug. It's all addicted, bad and twisting our love. The vision ain't right when it causes us to argue and fight. Even kings, I see no healing in sight. I'm not gonna shout, but most of us sell out for money and clout and say they bout it, but don't know what they bout. Say they bout it, but don't know what they bout. Say they bout it, but don't know what they bout. Say they bout it, but don't know what they bout. Say they bout it, but don't know what they bout. Say they bout it, but don't know what they bout. Say they bout it, but don't know what they bout. Say they bout it, but don't know what they bout.
Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready. Go.
Okay, stop the rhyme, stop the change. Your friend Green came to you for advice. He says she is afraid her sister, Latasha, is on drugs. Latasha acts strangely for some reason lately. Green knows that if Latasha is on drugs, she will get addicted, probably for life. She feels like she just must help her sister as soon as possible. She is mad at her sister because she should know better. Green cries as she tells you of the pain and suffering that her family has gone through already. Her older brother died from an overdose. Another brother had AIDS from using dirty needles. One sister committed a violent crime and is now in prison. Why do so many problems happen to her and her family, she asks. She blames her sister, but she also blames the whole stinking neighborhood for having stuff like this. Green doesn't want to see her mother or father struggle with the pain and agony of another family member in trouble and on drugs. She has even thought of committing suicide. What advice would you give your best friend? Where can she find support and help for all of her problems?
What should she do about her best friend who has expressed to her that her sister is on drugs and she just don't know what to do? What should she do?
She could just go live with some of her other relatives. Just get away from the whole situation. Sometimes things are so terrible that it might be best just move away. She's a young kid and she can just tolerate so much.
But then sometimes that's seen as a cop-out, and if you move away, you still have to deal with the pain that's there. And I agree with you, that might be a solution, but it could very well not be one, too, because you still have to deal with the pain and the anger that it sometimes causes.
Her desire was to help her sister by moving away. Do you think that's going to help her sister?
Well, it definitely won't help her sister, and it, as you said, probably would not help her, too, because she would probably feel as if she's deserting her sister in a time of need. I can see her moving away and being even more concerned about her sister. Well, I wonder what is she doing, or how is she, or I should be there for her, that type of situation. So I don't know whether I would handle it in that manner.
Do you think she should seek some help from her minister? Have him go talk to her sister?
That's exactly what I was thinking, that the friends might, if the person whose sister is in trouble did not have a minister, perhaps the friend could talk to her about speaking with her minister and seek counseling, because there seems to be an absence of any kind of spiritual needs be met there. And I think that might not necessarily solve the problem, but it might help this person, and then they might be able to, the minister probably would be able to contact the sister who is in trouble and maybe give her some counseling.
You know, I think that's a good idea because a lot of times now, youth and adults as well have to deal with issues and concerns that it seems like there is no human answer to it. And for those people who seek spiritual guidance and counseling and support, that can be very, very helpful. Sometimes it's the only thing that helps.
The sister was in a lot of pain for her sister. She cried. She just didn't know what to do. What else could she have done?
You know, let me emphasize this one more time, and I guarantee you there is no right or real solution. I'm just simply saying, you know, you're there. She can't beat her sister up. She could possibly go to a pastor. She could possibly go to some of her other relatives. I'm saying do something different. Move away. Go live with some of her other relatives. Do a good job there. Let her sister hear about that. Let her other relatives hear about that. And perhaps that will show that, you know, you don't have to just stay in that situation and toil and just continue to be in anger over something in like that situation. I'm just saying get away from the situation, and maybe that can be a good example for some individuals to follow suit. That's just my thought on that at this time.
What about the support? I know when you first plant a tomato, you have to put a stick in the ground in order to support it because it's too weak, especially when the tomato comes on the vine. What type of support could this sister get? From some organization or from, we talked about church, what other support could she get?
I would think her first line, if she's still in school, would be to go to see a counselor at school. A lot of times they're real impartial and don't bring especially if she's not a religious or spiritual person, they can get to her on a level where she doesn't have to deal with her God issues or anything else, just the problem at hand and what she needs to do about it to be able to grow as an individual. And then maybe address the spiritual part a little later once she deals with her first problem.
I definitely feel like there should be some additional adult support there. That's a heavy burden for a young person who probably doesn't know what to do or how to go about doing it. So the counselor is a good suggestion because even if the counselor himself or herself can't directly help, maybe they can refer her to someone who can. That happened personally with me. A young person came to me who was himself involved in drugs and decided that he wanted or needed help. And I felt inadequate myself to actually say to him what needed to be said, do what needed to be done. But I went to the counselor with him, and the counselor worked diligently with this kid, referred him to a center, and he just made a complete turnaround.
What's the purpose of drugs? Is it here for healing? Is it here for... What's the purpose?
I think the purpose is what actually happens, and that is to deceive people and make them believe something that isn't true. And to me, it is much about what we read in the scriptures about principalities and not flesh and blood, that it is something, it's something that deceives our young people and older ones too, and makes them think things that aren't true. People like, for some reason to me today, they don't want to hear the truth. And this is another form of not hearing the truth. You hear the glorified portion, which doesn't tell you about the age that was mentioned in the vignette, doesn't tell you about the addiction. It paints another picture, and somehow we can only see that part. We can't see the other part, which is the destruction and so on.
Drugs really have no place in our society.
If they are abused, they have no place. As long as they're not abused, that's our problem. Abuse drugs.
Yes, but the one we're talking about,
Sure.
that we saw depicted in the, yes, those have no place in our society. It only hurts and destroys us. It's not that we try to set up on a pedestal and say what should happen, what shouldn't. We just see the effect of it, and we know that that is not good.
And the sad thing is that somebody behind all of this making tons of money, and they're not the ones who are doing the suffering. It's those who are getting hurt the most that really get nothing out of it except a messed up life.
So drugs really has no need or place in our society. It didn't come from the Father.
And we all have a birthright. This really takes us out of our character. Without character, we're operating without a strong foundation. And without a foundation, things will collapse. Stay tuned.